My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love and Sassy Seer Sheila, as this will be seen on both channels. This is something that I was nudged to record when I read it on Facebook this morning. It is not a Jason Gray writing. It's actually by an anonymous author. It was posted on a friend's page, and it was only posted 22 hours ago by this friend. But I couldn't help. First of all, I got the nudge to record it. But secondly, today is July the 31st, 2025. I did read this one first and knew immediately as I was reading it that I was to record and share it. And I'm still not really clear as to why today. There's a part of me that wonders what is either about to take place on the planet or has already taken place that I'm not upfront consciously aware of. So if you hear these two, the transmission for peace from from Jason, and this one from an anonymous author, I'd love to hear from you. So I actually just took the first line because it wasn't given a title. For a small amount of perspective during these crazy times, imagine you were an American born in 1900, which my great-grandmother was actually born in 1903. And so, or that was the admitted year. That's the year she admitted to being born. Her younger sister suspects that she was actually born at least 10 years prior to that. However, when you are 14, World War I starts and ends on your 18th birthday with 22 million people killed. Later in the year, a Spanish flu epidemic hits the planet and runs until you are 20. 50 million people die from it in those 2 years. Yes, 50 million. When you're 29, the Great Depression begins. Unemployment hits 25%. Global GDP drops 27%. That runs until you are 33. The country nearly collapses along with the world economy. When you turn 39, World War II starts. You aren't even over the hill yet. When you're 41, the United States is fully pulled into World War II. Between your 39th and 45th birthday, 75 million people perish in the war, and the Holocaust kills 6 million. At 52, the Korean War starts and 5 million perish. At 64, the Vietnam War begins, and it doesn't end for many years. 4 million people die in that conflict. Approaching your 62nd birthday, you have the Cuban Missile Crisis, a tipping point in the Cold War. Life on our planet, as we know it, could well have ended. Great leaders prevented that from happening. As you turn 75, the Vietnam War finally ends. Think of everyone on the planet being born in 1900. How do you survive all that? A kid in 1985 didn't think their 85-year-old grandparent understood how hard school was. Yet those grandparents, and now great grandparents, survived through everything listed above. And I want to pause here for a moment before reading that final paragraph and say, I was one of the kids that didn't understand. Oh, Grandma, you're just old fashioned. You don't get it. You don't understand how hard it is out here. I was one of those. This is a huge, I never saw it or heard it put this way before. And I think that might be why, one of the reasons why I was to record this. Back to the writing. Perspective is an amazing art. Let's try and keep things in perspective. Let's be smart. Help each other out, and we will get through all this. In the history of the world, there has never been a storm that lasted. This too shall pass. Which I got to be honest with you, with that being the very last line of this writing, I found quite interesting because that has been my mantra over the last several years. When I am moving through something difficult, because my inner guidance has been to watch myself talk in my head. And so I have quelled those things by reminding myself that this too shall pass. Whether I'm in pain, which has been quite a lot, especially over the last few years again, and quite a bit in the last week or so. And no matter what it is, this too shall pass. So I'm not quite sure what is getting ready to take place or what has already taken place that I'm not being made aware of on this part of my consciousness. But somewhere back here on the larger part of me, it would appear that I'm being prepped for something. These two in particular that I was nudged to record today, this morning, I had to stop everything I was doing and start recording as soon as I saw them. So that's kind of interesting to me on a lot of levels. So if you are aware or you get a hit about what it is you think is either coming or has already happened that I'm not aware of, just reach out. Let me know either in a comment on this video or to me personally at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Very interesting. I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is a matter of your perspective and your perception of your perspective. And if you're presented with something that doesn't feel very joyous, aside from saying this too shall pass, which I highly recommend, I have found it very useful to step back for a moment and look at it again from a different perspective and see if there is a perspective that I've missed. Things are multidimensional. Things happen for all manner of reasons that may not be in that moment abundantly clear. And knowing that this too shall pass. I don't know. There's something about that saying for me. As well as nothing can stop what is coming. There's something to that as well. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.